I think we're on. Hey, everybody's
Hey,
me, Mr. Santee, Rob McNelis, coming to you live from Mission Realty Group right here in the beautiful city of Santee. And I'm here with the Santee guy, John Olsen, a.k.a. my dad.
Exactly. That's a long story.
Yeah.
That we don't need to go into here.
I'll tell that to anyone that wants to ask because it was hilarious.
Exactly. Buy him a beer, he'll tell you.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, we just come checking in this week to do a little update on kind of a little bit of what's going on in Santee. What you've heard, what I've heard, because we don't always get the same information.
Exactly.
And then also a little bit about this, about the settlements, the tentative settlement agreement that the National Association of Realtors has gone into with Missouri. I believe it's the state of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that and what that might mean to buying a house in tomorrow's marketplace.
And yeah.
Theoretically,
In the near future.
Doesn't start till July 1. But first, let's talk about Liberty and Libations. You were there. Thank you for showing up. You were always a big supporter. Can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
Exactly. That's me, athletic supporter.
So it was a great turnout. Thank you, Clint August, for helping and being a guest bartender. I know you brought in a few. He brought in a few people that hadn't been to that hall before. They've been some of the others, but. He brought in some new crowds.
It's always a good event. You should check it out. It's the third Tuesday
of every single month at the CNT VFW Hall, and it's open to the public on that day because it's a fundraising event. And we were able to raise about $2,800. So
perfect.
Not a bad deal for 3 hours of work.
Keeps the lights on for him.
Yes, it definitely helps keep the lights on. So great success, great events, great organization. But also, what else is going on in Santee? We got this weekend is the Hop on the Bunny Trail.
Yes,
we talked about that.
I have not talked about.
You not talked about the Hop on the Bunny Trail?
No, which is over at Trolley Square.
Yes. Yeah. So an annual event that the city of Santee puts on. Very family friendly. It's obviously kid oriented. There'll be jump houses and activities, face painting.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Christmas tree lighting. Excuse me. The holiday tree lighting.
No, I think you said it right.
Christmas tree lighting, except it's Easter themed.
Yeah. So
sorry, bunny
big event.
Sorry,
bunny theme.
It's so hard to be politically correct. I can never figure out.
I'm really not good at it.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah. So
it's Easter themed.
I call it an Easter event. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, well.
I know there's others that you can still join. You can still have fun.
Yeah.
Even if you don't celebrate Easter, come join. Have a great time
there.
So. And there will be egg hunts in each of the stores along Trolley Square there. So they're going to do some prizes at the end for who collects the most eggs. And I think there's even treats in some of those eggs. So walk into the stores. All the information will be there, but it starts. Oh my gosh, I don't even know when it starts. It's on Saturday. Look at the City of Santee website. It'll be on there.
Go to events. Yes.
Great event every single year. Family will enjoy it. We hopefully will have decent weather on Saturday.
I hope so, because I have an open house this weekend.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Just want to get that out. And unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No. We got thank you, Joe. We got a car dealership opening up soonish.
They've broken ground. That's a big start.
And then we have the Trader Joe's that's coming in.
Yes.
So I think that's actually been announced. So
that has. Trader Joe's actually announced it. They finally did a press conference on it.
Yeah.
Or a press release.
So it's over by the old Best Buy, former Vons, all that stuff over there.
Depends on how long you've lived in Santee. That's what you call it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that should be opening up hopefully before the end of the year.
Yeah, that was definitely the goal. Actually, we're supposed to have construction starting this year on the Carl Strauss as well.
Oh,
that was the promise from the president of Carl Strauss.
I'm awfully thirsty.
Yeah. That would be because it'd be right across the street from you.
Oh yeah, right across the street from Mission Realty Group, right behind Target.
Yeah. All right, so that's kind of a little bit of what's going on in the city of Santee. If you haven't been to Dino's lately, go check it out. Dino's Pub East. He's almost got it together. I don't know. They were supposed to get the wall up for the roll-up door. They're supposed to get the wall little pony bar.
Yeah, well, I hope it's done next week because I'm doing a happy hour there. So,
good for you.
But I won't
see how I just invited myself.
Exactly. So check out the Santee update on Facebook, and you'll get some information on that probably later this afternoon when I get over to Dino's.
All right. So now I do want to talk. If you don't know, John is actually one of the best agents that we have here in Santee. He does a great job for all of his clients. Typically stays well informed of what's going on, but we have some new breaking news. on the National Association of Realtor front, which will affect all transactions in one way or another in the near future. So, like I said, it's something that's the settlement agreement doesn't necessarily go into effect until July 1, but the hearing conference for it from the judge is going to be in May, and the judge could easily say, I want it in effect as of now.
Correct. So three things can always happen in a negotiation. They can accept it, they can reject it, or they can counter. So we're still trying to see what's going on. We're getting ready to handle if it's the worst case scenario with everything in there.
And so is the California State Association of Realtors. I have a friend that's on the forms committee, and they're already removing cooperating buyer broker compensation in MLS.
So if you're not sure what's going on with that, basically what we're going to do is they're changing the way that the sellers or the listing agent is advertising the commission for the buyer's agent. So if you're not familiar with how that works, typically the seller will pay 4 to 5 or 6% of the sales price to the broker that is listing the house, and then they will share that commission. If they're really cool, they share it 50-50 with the person that brings the buyer in to buy the house. So after this goes into effect, we'll probably change how that is marketed and advertised, and also how the buyer's agent gets paid. So currently all of that stuff is in negotiation. There's just kind of a handshake agreement that everybody's going to handle it in a very cool manner, because you can see on the back end of the MLS where agents are, they can see how much the commission is going to be when they take somebody to see that house.
Correct.
Yeah. So
the way it's working is technically the buyer will now be paying if this does go through the way it's designed to currently, the way the settlement was written. The buyer will be paying the commission to their agent, not the seller. Now, the seller can always credit the buyer towards closing costs to pay, in essence, for that commission.
And then that's where you have to talk to your lender, Rob.
And that's where we come up with a problem.
Yes, because if you're a VA
on the lending
buyer,
side, it's unlawful for you to pay a commission to an agent. So.
Exactly. So they're going to have to deal with some of this stuff and figure out how to make it work. But if you think about it, the seller or the buyer is always paying both commissions because it's built into the sales price. So they'll figure out a way to make it work. And most of the time, if your real estate agent is helping you as a seller, they're going to let you know that it's going to be harder to sell your house if you're not paying a buyer's agent, because probably 90% of the time, somebody else is bringing the buyer into that house, not the listing agent.
Yes.
Right.
And if you're not offering any, there's nothing there, they're not willing to pay it. It just becomes a sticky wicket.
Yes.
In the negotiation part and in the contractual writing, it just becomes very sticky. And then we've got the other side of this. There's always unintended consequences for what any government agency chooses to do. This case, I guess it was a lawsuit, private entity, but nonetheless, what the other side of this is you've got a conventional transaction that has a maximum of 3% concessions. The agent or the seller already agreed to give you 2.5 or 3%, and then you get into escrow, you get into moving things forward, and something inevitably is wrong with the house.
The air conditioner goes out,
or it's on it's on the edge of going out, and you're like, well, you know what? We know we're going to need to replace that in the near future. We don't want to make Mr. or Mrs. Seller replace that right now because we want to close on this transaction. Just give us a credit of, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and we'll use that to pay towards our closing costs, and we'll move along.
Yeah.
Well, now you may not be able to do that because they may have already met or exceeded their allowable concessions to a buyer.
Exactly. So my advice to anybody out there that's worried about it is don't worry about it yet. It's not here. Right. But let the professionals
ask questions.
Ask tons of questions. Right. You'll probably see more buyer broker agreements.
Yeah.
So that everybody is covered when you go in to look at a house. So there's no discrepancy on who gets paid what and when. So that'll be something that's kind of like a listing agreement. When you sell your house, you sign a contract saying you're going to be my exclusive agent to sell the house. You're going to do something similar when you go to buy a house. You'll sign an agreement with a broker and an agent to say you're going to represent me when I go look at houses for the next period of time.
Yep. So, I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. I just wanted to kind of get it out there, just because I've already seen a lot of stuff on social media and all sorts of places that, it's doom and gloom, that, the world's ending.
The sky's falling. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that, that's the end of sales, of real estate sales as we know it. People aren't gonna be able to sell their house, or agents aren't gonna be able to, be in the industry anymore. That's not true. Buyers are gonna be precluded from buying because it's too expensive for them. No, there's still ways around. There's still ways around a lot of this stuff. And when I say ways around, I mean it's just working within the system to change it from going from this hand to this hand. It's still, they're both your hands. It doesn't really matter.
At the end of the day, somebody's got to sell a house and somebody's got to buy a house, right? People need a place to live, so we'll figure out a way to make it work and stay within the guidelines of the new laws that are coming out, and we'll take care of you. That's what professionals are for.
And he's one of the best. So reach out to John Olsen when you're looking to buy your next home, especially if you're in East County. Not that you can't do it anywhere, but East County is kind of
as far as I've gone is 29 Palms.
Oh my gosh,
it was awesome.
That's a heck of a drive.
It was a good day to get all the phone calls in.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Joe, was there anything else that I missed? I was paying attention to John. All clear.
All clear.
All right. Awesome. Was there anything else you want to talk about?
No, just follow
your open house. Your open house this weekend.
Yes, I have an open house on Lake Canyon Court across the street from Guardian Angels Church. It's a brand new renovated house, listed at $799.
How big?
It's 1,200 square feet.
1,200 square feet. Bigger lot.
8,000 square foot lot. Well, 7,800.
78. That's still a good. That's a good sized lot. Yeah.
Everything's been permitted. It's all brand new. So check it out. And
but they'd have to be your neighbor though.
They would have to be.
They'd have to be his neighbor.
Yes, which is awesome because you'd be right across the street from the church. You're going to always be 15 minutes late for mass, just like that. But anyway, look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. We'll have a taco truck on Saturday from 12 to 3.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. That is it. It's a wrap. We'll see you next week. I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful day and enjoying the Santee weather. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless Santee. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.